Okay, so today we will start with the April current affairs. ঠিক আছে, this is the April current affairs area. এখান থেকে আমরা স্টার্টটা করছি আজকে। ঠিক আছে, we'll start with one piece at a time, এক একটা করে নেব এবং আমরা শেষ করব ন্যাশনাল অ্যাফেয়ার্স, ইন্টারন্যাশনাল অ্যাফেয়ার্স কি কি আছে। বাট সিন্স we are more or less related to various aspects, তাহলে আমরা আগে একটা বেসিক প্রথম যেটা দরকার সেটা হচ্ছে কি ব্যাংকিং পার্ট দিয়ে শুরু করব, তারপরে একটা একটা করে টপিক তুলবো এবং উইল ট্রাই টু কমপ্লিট ইট by the end of the session. First, let's go into the government schemes. Okay, Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana completes 7 years. Okay, on April 8, 2022. So Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana, first is Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana কবে লঞ্চ হয়েছিল, that is in 2015. Okay, Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana. Okay, now what was this Pradhan Mantri Mudra? MUDRA, Micro Unit Development and Refinance Agency. ওকে, প্রধানমন্ত্রী মুদ্রার এটা হচ্ছে গিয়ে মাইক্রো ইউনিট, মাইক্রো ইউনিট, মাইক্রো, that means very small, micro unit, okay, development refinance agencies. Now what these refinance agencies does, they basically give loan. ঠিক আছে, এবার তার কি লোন দিচ্ছে, তারা এটা ইন্টারেস্ট সাবভেনশন স্কিমের থ্রু দিয়ে লোনগুলো দেবে বেসিক্যালি। তো এটা লোনটার ম্যাক্সিমাম লিমিট হচ্ছে গিয়ে 10 লাখ। ওকে, to non-corporate, non-farm, small micro enterprises for income generating activities. ঠিক আছে, the scheme, it is a central scheme for the, it is a central scheme first of all. So this is a central scheme. What are the various facts that you have got? It is a central scheme. It is fund for the unfunded. Okay, it has got a loan maximum for 10 lakh to non-corporate and non-farming people for micro and small enterprises. Okay, তো এইটা এইটা হচ্ছে গিয়ে তো আমাদের বেসিক্যালি প্রধানমন্ত্রী মুদ্রা যোজনার আন্ডারে মুদ্রা মাইক্রো ইউনিট ডেভেলপমেন্ট অ্যান্ড রিফাইন্যান্স কেন বলছি, উই আর অলরেডি ফাইন্যান্সিং দেম when we are requiring them to give later on. ঠিক আছে, পরে যখন লোন লাগবে তখন যাতে আমি দিতে পারি। ওকে, এবার মুদ্রার মধ্যে তিনটে পার্ট আছে। ওকে, there is শিশু, ওকে, শিশু, কিশোর, SHOR, Kishore and Tarun. Okay, these are the three schemes that are going on along with it. যে তিনটে পার্টে এই টোটাল জিনিসটাকে ভাঙা হয়েছে, শিশু, কিশোর অ্যান্ড তরুণ। ওকে, নাও এবার শিশু, কিশোর অ্যান্ড তরুণ এই যে তিনটে স্কিম আছে সেগুলোর এবার কি কি আছে সেগুলো আমরা এবার অ্যানালাইজ করে দেখব। ওকে, নাও শিশু, কিশোর অ্যান্ড তরুণ সেটার মধ্যেও তার যাওয়ার আগে একটা জিনিস আমাদের রাখতে হবে মাথায়, যে হাউ দে আর গোনা গিভ দিস লোন। নাও if we go, this will be given through a portal. Okay, this whole loan, this whole loan will be given through a portal known as udyami mitra.in. Okay, udyami mitra.in, তার থ্রু দিয়ে অনলাইনে they can apply it. Okay, তার থ্রু দিয়ে অ্যাপ্লাই করতে পারবে এইটার লোনের জন্য। নাও দিস মুদ্রা লোন ইজ গিভেন ফর হোম? ওকে, দিস ইজ স্মল ফার্মার্স, 10 লাখ টাকা পর্যন্ত স্মল বিজনেস ওনার্সের জন্য। ওকে, তো এবার যদি আমরা দেখি হোয়াট ইজ দ্য কারেন্ট সিনারিও। ঠিক আছে, দিস ইজ দ্য 7th অ্যানিভার্সারি। ঠিক আছে, মুদ্রা যোজনাতে, অ্যান্ড এম ওয়াজ বেসিক্যালি ফর নন ফার্ম। ওকে, অ্যান্ড কারা করতে পারবে, লাস্ট মাইল ফাইন্যান্সিয়াল ইনস্টিটিউশনস লাইক ব্যাংক, নন এনবিএফসিস, মাইক্রো ফাইন্যান্স। ঠিক আছে, সো মুদ্রা ডাজ নট লেন্ড ডাইরেক্টলি টু মাইক্রো এন্টারপ্রাইজেস। ওকে, থ্রু পার্টিকুলার সেটা এরা ইনভলভ হচ্ছে। নাও যেটা আমি শিশু, কিশোর আর তরুণের কথা বললাম, শিশুর ম্যাক্সিমাম লিমিট হচ্ছে গিয়ে 50,000। ওকে, কিশোরের হচ্ছে গিয়ে 50,000 to 5 লাখ, অ্যান্ড তরুণের হচ্ছে গিয়ে 5 লাখ to 10 লাখ। ওকে, সো দিস ইজ দ্য থ্রি পার্ট। ওকে, বেসিক্যালি এটা ওমেনদেরও ইনিশিয়েট করা হচ্ছে। ঠিক আছে, সো অল অফ দিস all together, this is the scenario. Okay, so what are the various aspects? Why I'm going through all these schemes, all the details of it, because they are asking about it also. So Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana কত বছর কমপ্লিট করলো? They completed 7 years. কোন সালে লঞ্চ হয়েছে? That is 2015. Okay, now what is the full form of Mudra? Micro Unit Development and Refinance Agency. ওকে, নেক্সট হচ্ছে গিয়ে কি, এটা কত পর্যন্ত ম্যাক্সিমাম লোন দিতে পারছে, দ্যাট ইজ 10 lakh. Okay, what are the various people they can give it to? They cannot give it to corporates, they cannot give it to farmers. Okay, so non-farmers, non-corporates, ठीक है, for income wealth generation. Okay, now this is for, it is a central sector scheme or state sector centrally sponsored scheme, it is a central government sector scheme, central government scheme. Okay, clear? Now what are the other aspects of it? ঠিক আছে, নেক্সট হচ্ছে গিয়ে কি, এটা তিনটে পার্ট আছে। সেটা হচ্ছে কি শিশু, কিশোর, তরুণ। শিশু হচ্ছে 50,000 টাকা পর্যন্ত, কিশোর হচ্ছে গিয়ে 50 থেকে 5 লাখ পর্যন্ত, আর 5 লাখ থেকে 10 লাখ হয়ে যাচ্ছে গিয়ে তরুণ। and you have to apply it through Udyami Mitra scheme. Clear? Clear till this point? Okay, let's go to the next part. Next is stand up India scheme. ठीक है, stand up India scheme. Now the stand up India scheme is basically for what? Okay, now we have to understand stand up India scheme and startup India scheme are not specifically, although they are said in the same line, একসঙ্গে যখন বলা হচ্ছে, although they are said in the same way, but both of them have their own original identity. Okay, stand up India scheme was launched by which ministry? This was launched by Ministry of Finance, Department of Financial Services, Ministry of Finance. Okay, see, this was basically launched by Ministry of Finance only. Okay, this one. So Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana scheme. So Mudra Yojana. Okay, NBFCs and bank. So basically it was launched by Micro Unit Refinance Agency. Okay, so I think it is clear right now. Yeah. Okay, it's a separate body. Vision, just let me go through it and give you a total idea. Interest subvention. This is also Ministry of Finance. What I was looking for, I have got it. Ministry of Finance ETAO, Ministry of Finance ETAO. Okay, okay. So both of these schemes that we are talking about has been launched by Ministry of Finance in 2015. Now, what is the thing? Mudra is a micro unit development bank, Mudra Bank. Now, does it come under any Companies Act? It has been registered as a company. Now, this was the part that was I have not told. It has been registered as a company. Okay, and this is under Companies Act of 2013. Companies Act under আছে. Okay, and the NBFC with RBI. Okay, so Mudra, if we talk about Mudra, if we talk about, it is a, first of all, it is a company under Companies Act, and it is a non-banking financial institution under RBI's Act. Okay, clear till this? I think everything is clear. Now we go to the stand up India. Now why we are saying stand up India? This was to leverage the institutional credit system to reach to the under-deserved sector of the people, basically SC, ST and women entrepreneurs. Okay, that's why they're saying it is stand up. Okay, and this was launched 1 year after the Mudra Yojana, and this was in 2016, launched by Ministry of Finance. Okay, and this was to basically give a loan to the stand up and startup, to the stand up India. Now this loan facility is between 10 lakh to 1 crore to at least one SC. Okay, objective of the scheme was that it should be given to at least one SC/ST borrower or at least one woman borrower per bank, per branch, per bank branch of the scheduled commercial banks for setting up a greenfield enterprise. Okay, this was the basic idea. So what was the basic idea? I'm going to repeat it. First of all, this will be 10 lakh to 1 crore, so শিশু কিশোর তরুণ যেখানে শেষ হয়ে যাচ্ছে 10 লাখে শেষ হয়ে যাচ্ছে, তারপরে 10 লাখ থেকে 1 কোটি টাকা পর্যন্ত, ঠিক আছে, this will be given as a loan, ঠিক আছে। so 10 lakh to 1 crore, now whom this will be given? This should be given to either SC SC borrower and at least to one woman borrower, ঠিক আছে। for setting up of greenfield enterprises, what is mean by greenfield enterprises? greenfield মানে হচ্ছে কি যেটা আগে হয়নি, ঠিক আছে। now loans are available only under greenfield. Now why you are saying that loans are available only under greenfield? Greenfield means that a project that is not considered as a prior work, that means that suppose there is a remodeling or something, or there is a loan that is already running for someone, he is an ST candidate, তার একটা already company আছে, সে তার জন্য stand up চাইছে, that will not be given. But a person who is actually setting up a shop, say he want to make sanitizer or he wants to make a shop for the for making mask, তো তার জন্য হতে গেলে this is eligible. This is given minimum age is 18. Okay, clear. And now the borrower should not be a defaultee, that is basic. Okay, now what is their margin money requirement is also there. Okay, now what has been brought inside it is that the margin money that was required, this has been also reduced. Now what is the margin money right now that is required to be paid? That is 15%. Okay, so margin money means 15%. Suppose they are going to take a loan of 10 lakh. Okay, 10 lakh. Okay, and the total project cost is 10 lakh. So or let's say, take for an example, they are going to take this will be easy to understand, since the loan amount is between 10 lakh to 1 crore. Suppose there is a loan amount that is required, that is 20 lakh. So 15% of 20 lakh, this is the project cost. 15% of 20 lakh amounts to 3 lakhs. So 17 lakh will be provided by bank, and 15% of it should be provided by the borrower. Okay. So now what are the connect centers? NABARD as designated are designated as stand-up connect centers. Okay, SUCs, what we call. Now what has happened within last 6 years? Okay, so how these things, the whole ecosystem works. Suppose rural self-employment centers. Okay, vocational training centers, district industrial centers. Okay, these are the centers that they are connecting to two personalities. Either they are connecting to NABARD, okay, or the two centers that they can connect to. I said about NABARD, there is another one, this is for agriculture, and there is also CDV. Okay, they are going to connect it. Okay, they are going to generate the lead that will be sent to the bank branches, and each of the bank branches in scheduled commercial bank, they have to give a loan, okay, in this greenfield enterprise. Okay, clear, per bank branch. So basically all the branches have to give it, okay, one loan per se. That is the target that has been given. Next we come to the next scheme, Mukhyamantri Uddam Kranti Yojana. Okay, now almost in the same line, this has been launched by Shivraj Singh Chauhan. Shivraj Singh Chauhan has launched Mukhyamantri Udyam Kranti Yojana at International Center. Now the loan amount that will be given maximum is 50 lakh with subsidized interest in the rate of self-employment, and implemented by MP's Department of MSME. The government will give 3% interest subsidy and the bank guarantee fees for maximum period of 7 years, and form of financial assistance to beneficiaries of Mukhyamantri Udyam Kranti Yojana. So MP Mukhyamantri Udyam Karikram Yojana, 50 lakh is the maximum. Okay, next, NHA launches HBP under APPMJY. Okay, there are a lot of things, lot of acronyms, একটা করে তুলি তাহলে। First of all হচ্ছে গিয়ে NHA. What is NHA? National Health Authority. So NHA is related to health. Okay, National Health Authority has launched HBP, Health Benefit Package. Okay, Health Benefit Package, a new vision for the Health Benefit Package under APPMJEY. What is PMJEY? Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. Now this is a big thing. চলো अभी এটাকে একটা একটা করে ভাঙা যাক. Now Ayushman Bharat Jan Arogya Yojana is was launched basically with a insured sum of 5 lakh per family. Okay. Now what is this to deal with? Basically this is to deal with health benefits. Now Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana and Ayushman Digital Bharat Mission in southern states and HBP will review. Third edition is covering Andaman Nicobar. All of this is okay. Now we go deep into this scheme to understand what is Ayushman Bharat and why this is in news. First of all, this is a cashless. Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana will be a cashless, paperless access to services and provide beneficiaries at the point. Okay. Now this is a package rate. Okay, this is flexible also. Now it is entitled based scheme, so it will not be given to everyone. Okay, and it will be defined who will get the Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana will be defined by ACCC data. Okay, so entitled based scheme. What is meant by entitled based scheme? That means not everyone will be eligible for it. There are certain people who need this kind of a scheme, they will be requiring it. Now this funding will be divided between states, for all states. Okay, basically for northeastern it is 90-100, but funding is basically divided into 60-40. That means center will give 60% and 40 will be given by the state. Okay, National Health Authority, it was constituted under Societies Act, and this National Health Authority was basically established to make sure that Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana is basically implemented in a proper way. ठीक है. So which are the few states that have not implemented this? Okay, that is need to be known. There are 3 or 4 states rather. First one is West Bengal. They have not implemented it as a whole. There is Telangana. They have not implemented. Orissa has not implemented, and Delhi has not implemented it. Now they have their own reasons. Okay, it's not political most of the time, although there is certain political aspects, but most of the time it is not political. Why I am saying it? Because these states have already a particular scheme. Okay, particular scheme that entitles, like West Bengal, Shastro Shati was there. Okay, that's why they don't want this to be there. That's it. Okay, so how many procedures have they haven't added? That is 365 new procedures. Okay, clear? Just remember this part, that new version. Okay, Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. Okay, basically what it does, how it is implemented. COVID-19 এর সময় 20.3 lakh COVID test এগুলো করা হয়েছিল, ঠিক আছে, authorized from this one. This basically offers a some insurance of maximum of 5 lakhs. Okay, 5 lakh per family for secondary care. Okay, not super specialty. Okay, secondary care and tertiary care. Okay. Next হচ্ছে গিয়ে central government raised 1 trillion via asset monetization by FY22 beats 12%. Now what is in a national under national monetization pipeline, NMP? Okay, national monetization pipeline, which we talked about recently also. National monetization pipeline which is central government এর যে asset গুলো আছে, ঠিক আছে, public sector brownfield assets, ঠিক আছে. Now how they're going to implement it? Okay, they're going to monetize it. Okay, now how do you mean, what is the meaning of this? Why we are doing it? See, there is a failure of the public sector enterprises in as a whole in many of the situations. Like there is a cost overrun problem, overcapitalization problem, failure of PSUs are the basic idea. Okay, there are PSUs that are running. There are PSUs that have not given any significant improvement. Now what is the idea? They failed to, why the PSUs were made? PSUs were made to take up the basic needs to be fulfilled by the social objectives that need to be met. Okay, now the problem that arised, okay, before that they failed to deliver the financial and social objective. As a result, it has been decided that they have to unlock this in brownfield projects, public sector assets. Okay, this is unutilized for a long term. Okay, and a public private partnership or something of that sort has to be put. Okay. Now monetization of rights will be given, that is not ownership. So monetization doesn't mean we are selling everything. It's just the ownership is not given, rights of certain parts will be given. Okay, so how much of monetization? So monetization is 1 trillion. Okay, 96,000 crores. Okay, uh, 96,000 crore will be given as a national monetization pipeline. Okay, what they will brownfield risk assets, stable revenue streams. Okay, now national aim to unlock the brownfield projects by engaging in the private sector, transferring them to revenue rights and not ownership of the projects, using such funds generated for infrastructure creation. Now, why this problem is arising? Now let's talk about it. The job of a government is to make good roads, good infrastructure, good utility services. Okay, the job of the government is not to make is not to make scooters. So that's why the scooter is not required. So rather that can be given to a public sector company, private sector company, and make with that amount that has getting continuously used out there, that can be used for making roads in a better way. That's why it is a better option for them. Now what is the target? Okay, that national infrastructure pipeline has been visioned with. The vision is to make sure that more and more of this overcapitalized everything can be used. Okay, clear? Now target should be realized, that is 96,000 crore. They have beaten the target and $1 trillion has been achieved. Next, Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan package extended for a period of 180 days. Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana. Okay. Now, why this was released? Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana. Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana. Okay. Uh, this was in news because this was launched in the nodal ministries, Ministry of Finance again. Okay. Now this has been extended to April 22. Okay, for 180 days. Okay, safety net to depending with effect from April 1922. So 180 days this will be extended. Okay, so why this will be extended? So that more people can come under this and get the public distribution system through the Tarayana help pie. This is basically covering as the National Food Security Act of 2013 that additional 5 grains will be given. Okay, so what is uh, what is the basic aspect of Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana? To help the people who help fighting the battle against COVID. Okay, Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana. So Pradhan was launched in March 2020. Okay, COVID times. Okay, so cover of 50 lakh. Okay, comprehensive personal accident cover of 50 lakhs. ठीक है, to 122 lakh healthcare providers including community health workers and private healthcare workers who have been in direct contact with COVID patients and at risk of being impacted by this. This was the basic idea behind launching Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana. Okay, and inside it there were multiple aspects inside it, like giving 5 kg of wheat or rice. Okay, and 1 kg of pulses per family. Okay, extension or this whole thing, finance minister also announced that লকডাউনের জন্য যে প্রবলেমস ক্রিয়েট হয়েছিল that also gets mitigated and everything. Okay, government eases the norm for under EPCG scheme to promote ease of doing business. Okay, now what is export promotion of capital goods? Okay, so government has relaxed certain norms. This is the only thing. What were the norms that were released? To facilitate imports of capital goods for production of quality goods and services and enhance Indian manufacturing competitiveness. under export promotion and capital goods imports will be allowed duty free provided the exporter or authorizer holder has to export finished good worth 6 times the actual saved value terms in 6 years. Okay, so suppose I have imported a machine to make mobiles. Okay, and that cost me around 100 crores. Okay, it's a machine that will make mobiles by itself. So let's say I have imported this machine from any other parts of the world. Okay, now through this machine through this machine I have actually imported 600 crore worth of mobiles, okay, outside India. Okay, clear? If I am able to do this, okay, within the next 6 years, okay, then this one will not attain have any duty over it. In general it will be duty. Suppose if I am uh, uh, bringing a 10 crore rupee capital good, okay, something, what is capital good? Something through which we can make further processes. This is one of the aspect of capital good. Now এটা যখন আমি নিয়ে আসছি, আমি যেন এর থ্রু দিয়ে এতটাই জেনারেট করতে পারি যে সেটা দিয়ে হচ্ছে না। সাপোজ 10 কোটি টাকা নিয়ে এলাম and I just produce 10 crore rupees of goods and that's it. That would not be the case. It has to make a significant contribution to export. So why they are doing it? They're saying, okay, if you want, since India is not right at this moment able to make these kind of machines, you can import them provided you can make a significant output of them. Okay, so import output ratio over the 6 years should make sure that the whole capital good that has been introduced, that has been brought from outside, okay, that helps. So export promotion, how import is helping export? Import is allowed of foreign goods, of capital goods, provided that capital goods helps us in making export of 6 times in the next 6 years. Next, total enrollment of APY scheme crossed 4.101 crores as on March 2022. According to Ministry of Finance, as on March 2022, the total enrollment under the central government retirement benefit scheme Atal Pension Yojana crossed 4.01 scheme. Okay. Next, we come to Atal Pension Yojana. Now, what is APY? Atal Pension Yojana. Atal Pension Yojana, okay, was launched. First of all, let's understand what is the minimum and maximum of it. Then we'll try to understand it. So, minimum under this scheme, the subscriber will get a minimum guaranteed pension of 1,000 to a maximum of 5,000. Okay, and per month from the age of 60 years. Okay, depending upon his contribution. Okay, Atal Pension Yojana is guaranteed under Pension Fund Regulatory Development Authority of India. Okay, these are the basic facts that you need to remember, and this from per month from the age of 60. So after he retires, after he is attained the age of 60, he will get a guaranteed minimum pension of 1,000 to 5,000 per month. Okay, now what is the eligibility of it? He has to be between 80 to 40 years of age, or ভিতরে তো হতেই হবে। An amount is guaranteed to the lifetime for the spouse on the death of the subscriber, and entire corpus amount will go to the if the both of spouse and subscriber is died, the entire amount will be given to the nominee. Okay, now if a person already has NPS, he will not be eligible to get this National Atal Pension Yojana. Okay, clear? He will not be able to get this Atal Pension Yojana benefit. Whether it has got tax benefit? Yes, it has got a tax benefit. Okay. Now, Pension Regulatory Fund of India is a statutory body. Okay, that you have to remember. They also promote NPS. Okay, and that is from 18 to 65. Okay, so NPS is different thing that was launched in 2004. Atal Pension Yojana is another scheme that was launched in 2015. So Atal Pension Yojana was launched in 2015, same year Mudra. Okay, and NPS was launched way back. Okay, this is a old story. Okay, it was launched in 2004 after the original pension scheme, old pension scheme, diluted. Okay, clear? Okay. Now, the question arises: what is the minimum amount? Okay, minimum amount for Atal Pension Yojana. Okay, let's say I want to get 1,000 rupees. Okay, one 1,000 rupees per month. Okay, APY. So, how much of money I have to contribute? Clear what I'm saying? Now, this amount that we are talking about is how much? It is 42 to 210 per month. Okay, clear? Suppose suppose a person who is 18 years old, he needs to contribute 42 to 210 per month. That is the maximum. Okay, say why I'm saying all this. Say suppose he wants to have a minimum pension. Now if he is 18, he can do it till 60. So that means or is 18 years of age, he will be able to do it for 30 years, because from the age of 60 he will be getting it. So in order to get a pension worth of 1,000 rupees, he has to minimum give 42 rupees. Okay, at the age of 18 if he has done, and for 5,000 he has to give 210 rupees. Okay, clear? Now there are 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 and 5,000. Okay, these are the schemes. Minimum at the age of 18, if you are investing in it, 18. Nay, J&K Sambha becomes first district in India to cover 100% household under AB Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana Sehat scheme. Okay, so which state, which place? JK Samba. Samba. So Samba became first district in the India to cover 100% household under under Atmanirbhar Bharat, Ayushman Bharat, Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, Sehat, social endeavor for health and telemedicine. So what is the full form of Sehat? Social endeavor for health and telemedicine. Okay, Samba district. Ayushman Bharat, Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. So which state became it? That is Sehat, Samba, and it is in Jammu and Kashmir. Next is Unnati Bharat. Okay. Next is Unnat Bharat. Sorry, Unnat Bharat. Unnat Bharat Abhiyan. Okay. Now Unnat Bharat Abhiyan has also completed its 2.0, has also completed its 4 years. Okay, it was launched in April 25, 2018. Okay, uh, 2.0 launched of the same day in 2018. Now, Unnat Bharat Abhiyan was launched with a vision of transformation of change in rural development processes by Ministry of Education. So this part is dealt with. Unnat Bharat Abhiyan is Ministry of Education. Okay, Unnat Bharat scheme. Okay, so Unnat Bharat scheme is related to what? It is related to the IIT Delhi designated the function national coordinator for institute of this program. So which is the designated to function as a national coordinating institute, that is IIT Delhi. Unnat Bharat Abhiyan is a flagship program of Ministry of Education, formerly Ministry of Human Resource Development. On 11th November 2014, Unnat Bharat Abhiyan is an upgraded version of Unnat Bharat 1.0 launched in 2018. So Unnat Bharat Abhiyan was launched in 2018. Now it is running Unnat Bharat Abhiyan 2.0. Now what is the basic? It identifies 3 or 5 core issues among the small villages. Okay, based on local conditions. and then the maximum effort is given to make sure that the higher education institutes, okay, on the higher education institutes, okay, so that the villages can benefit through it. Okay. Now this is also part of the national education policy. It has been taken under consideration. This also becomes a part of it. Now this is why they are doing it. It was a flagship program of Ministry of Education. Okay. uh, um, why they are doing it? Okay, this is human development and material development, or you can say economic development of it. What was the main objective of it? The main objective was to engage the faculty and students of these higher education institutions, and make sure that the development issues in the rural areas are mitigated. Okay, so that can be taken under consideration. Suppose there are 5 villages, okay, minimum. So minimum 5 villages should be there. Let's say there are 5 villages and one higher education institute is out there. So this higher education institute will take under consideration what are the problems that these 5 villages are facing and how this institute can help it out. Okay, clear? And now this was the first part. Now comes the Unnat Bharat Abhiyan 2.0. Okay, so Unnat Bharat Abhiyan 2.0 was launched in 2018, as we have already said. Okay, because Unnat Bharat Abhiyan 1.0 was launched in 4 years before 2014. So 2.0 was launched in 2018. Okay, and what was the basic idea? Unnat Bharat program was whereas higher education are required willingly to adopt at least 5 villages. Okay, and their basic idea will be to intervene in the basic approaches, okay, like sustainable economy, e-commerce, e-support, basic amenities, local natural resources, and all these parts. The basic things that they have to take under consideration is health, education, skill, and holistic perception. Okay, clear? So this is what we have come across in schemes. Okay, I went in deep with each of the sections, okay, in each of the schemes, so that you have a better understanding of it. Okay, next we go to the international affairs. This will be a small one. About 99% of the world population is now breathing polluted air. Okay, so WHO has released it. So it has not been released by Clean Air or anything. This is for the first time. Why I'm saying for the first time, WHO Air Quality Database introduced ground measurements of annual mean concentration of nitrogen dioxide and common urban pollutant and precursor of the pollutant matters of ozone. It also includes measurements of particulate matters with diameter of equal or smaller than 10 pm or pm 2.5. ठीक है? Now pm particulate matter, ठीक है, with smaller than 10 micrometer to 2.5 micrometer. Okay, that we are considering. These are all pollutants. Okay, now what is happening? What they are saying that 99% of the world population breathe air that does not meet WHO air quality standard. So the latest version of the database was used 2018, but they have for the first time taken ground reports to release it. United Nations Development Program announces USD 2.2 million on climate action grant for innovators. United Nations Development Program and the partners of the adoption of innovation marketplace has announced USD 2.2 million in climate action funding for 220 local innovators spanning 19 countries including India. Okay, so United Nations Development Program has announced a total corpus of 2.2 million on climate change grant for innovators. Okay, an adaptation of innovation in marketplace has announced 2.2 million for climate change in 22 local innovators spanning in 19 countries. So you have to remember there is a 2.2 million that has been given for 22 local innovators in 19 countries including India. Okay, this is not only for India, there is for 2.2 million for 22 local innovators spanning in 19 countries. The grant is focused on resilient agriculture technology, community-based adaptation, economic system-based payments, services, and entrepreneurship. Grants were awarded across 19 countries, including 7 from Africa, 11 from Asia, Latin America, Caribbean region. 10 out of 20 were the least developed countries or small island developing countries. Okay. Next, Minamata Convention on Mercury. So, Minamata is a disease that is caused by mercury poisoning. This Minamata Convention on Mercury was Indonesia and UN sought support. So, in the Minamata Convention aims to protect human health and environment from anthropogenic emission and release of mercury. It is the most recent global agreement on environment and health, which was adopted in 2013 and acted into force in 2017. Okay, so this was adopted in 2013 and came into force in 2017. Now, the fourth meeting of the Conference of Parties (COP) Minamata Convention on Mercury held in Bali. Okay, ठीक है. So Bali, the fourth meeting of COP 4 here in that was held in Bali. This Minamata Convention was adopted. Okay, it presented the declaration combating global illegal trade of mercury. Okay, so mercury poisoning is related to Minamata disease. Clear? Next, so India contributes USD 5,000 crore. Now let's remember one more thing: Minamata Convention, human health, and anthropogenic emission of release of mercury. Okay, 2017 COP Bali. Okay. Next, Indian contributes USD 500,000. Okay, 100,000 5 lakhs. Okay, let's say 5 lakhs to UN Women Core Budget. Okay, United Nations Women's Core Budget. Now, India contributed 500 million to the United Nations Women and Agency to Gender Equality and Women Empowerment for their core budget. Okay. So it was handed over by India's permanent representative as T.S. Trimurti to the executive director of Seema Bahus, UN Women Chief. Okay, United Nations Women headquarters is in USA only. Okay, so India has contributed how much? 500,000 or 5 lakh dollars. India secures leadership in Council Standing Committee on Administrative and Management of ITU. Okay, Aparajita Sharma appointed as the vice chairperson. Okay, next go to the ITU is International Telecommunication Union. Okay, the United Nations. ITU. Okay, is specialized agency. Okay, and it's a meeting held in Geneva. Okay, ITU is basically like the head of like all the telecommunications, the telecommunication. Okay, this its headquarters is in is like plain vanilla case. It is in Geneva. Okay, and who has been appointed? Okay, as the vice chairperson of it, that is Aparajita Sharma. Okay, Aparajita Sharma, Leadership Council Standing Committee, and he has been appointed as the Standing Committee vice chairperson of ITU. Okay, Madagascar enters into a coalition for disaster resilient infrastructure. Okay, so Madagascar enters into coalition for disaster resilient infrastructure. Madagascar, a country that is located in which sea? Madagascar. Think. It's in which part of Africa? First, right? This is in the east part of Africa. Okay. Uh, I think you have been able to realize which part I'm talking about. Lower part. Okay. The small part of Madagascar. Now, Madagascar has been located in the Indian Ocean. Okay. Indian Ocean, and Madagascar is between the main island. Okay. And between Indian Ocean. So basically, if you take the map, if this is Africa, here is Madagascar, and in between this part there is a channel known as Mozambique Channel. Okay, and Madagascar, the capital is Antananarivo. Okay, Antananarivo. Okay. So Madagascar has recently entered into a coalition for disaster resilient infrastructure. The coalition for disaster relation, which was launched by Indian Prime Minister, okay, at the United Nations Climate Action Summit, September 2019. The climate coalition for disaster resilient infrastructure now has 13 members. It includes now it's now important what it becomes is that the headquarter is not located in Geneva. Okay, although it was said in United Nations climate action support coalition for disaster resilient infrastructure, its headquarter is in New Delhi. Okay, clear. The newest latest country to enter it, that is Madagascar. AUKUS. Okay, AUKUS Defense Alliance adds hypersonic weapons to secure pact. The United Nations, United Kingdom, and Australia created a security pact and defense alliance known as AUKUS to develop a hypersonic missile and electronic warfare capabilities. The leaders of AUKUS are British Prime Minister, US President, and Australian President. Okay, the US and Australia have a hypersonic weapon program called Skyforce, Southern Cross Integrated Flight Research Experiment. Okay, next is there are a few things, Skyfire. This is a Skyfire Southern Crossfire Intelligence. This Skyfire is related to AUKUS. AUKUS has Australia, UK, and USA. Okay. Now, astronomers detect identical twin of Jupiter K2 2016 BLG 051, which is similar in mass and similar in location. Now, why we are saying identical twin? Whenever we say identical twin, in case of a planet, means it has got a similar mass and a similar location. Okay, from its sun. Say this is sun and Jupiter is located out here. So similarly, there is a sun of that K2 K2 2016 BL500LB, whatever the name it is, that is exactly located, and this mass is also same. Okay. Now, why this is important also? This is the first bound microlensing exoplanet to be discovered by the from the space-based data. Okay. So what is it? Gravitational microlensing. Okay. Albert Einstein's theory of relativity. What they used Albert Einstein's theory of relativity. You don't have to go inside it. Okay. um, and neither you have to go into inside the gravitational microlensing, although if you think you should go through it also at your spare time, but it's not required. Okay, it's James Webb Space Telescope through which this gravitational lensing is done. Okay. Okay, so so what it is, so basically I'm telling you, although it's pretty hard if you're not from a science background, but still let's from a layman understanding, let's say understand. See, first of all, the most powerful force in the world, okay, is the force in earth is gravity, and in that gravity there is a black hole. Okay, what's the basic utility of black hole is that its gravity is so high it can even bend the light. Okay, this is the basic thing. Now I think this part is pretty clear. যে গ্র্যাভিটির পাওয়ারটা এতটাই বেশি it can also bend light. Okay, now if that can be done, so what happens is that suppose there is a black hole. Okay, so as a result of it, the gravitational field distorts and magnifies the light of an object behind it. Suppose there is a sun, okay, and there is a object. Let's say that this planet is there. The light behind it gets bent, okay, and that can be traced back. And this whole thing, although I'm telling it in a very cumbersome manner, because it really requires some time to explain you, but basic idea is that they are doing what they are doing. They are detecting uh, basically this telescope, this gravitational lens, what we are talking about here, the micro lensing or whatever it is, we are talking about, this acts as a natural cosmic telescope. Okay, okay. So what it helps in, it helps in detail early galaxies that are very far away. Okay, clear? Okay, next we go to United Nations Human Resource, United Nations Human Rights Council suspends Russia from Human Rights Council. India abstains from vote. So Russia has become the second and the first P5 country, okay, to be suspended from. Libya was the first country to get suspended. So this is a question part, that United Nations Human Rights Council has suspended which country? Russia. Now the question can be, this is the first country that got suspended. The answer is no. This is not the first country. Okay, Libya previously got suspended. Next, Ecuador, the first country to give legal rights to wild animals. Okay, the Southern American country Ecuador, okay, became the first country in the world to give least legal rights to wild animals. The court of Ecuador on Estrella case finally stated that animals are subjected to rights protected by the rights of nature. Okay, now Ecuador's capital is Quito. Okay, so now it's very obvious that Ecuador has passed through it, so I'm not going to say it also. So Quito is the capital of Ecuador. Now, one thing that you can ask is whether Ecuador, where it is in Southern America. Now, the question that can come from your mind, that is Ecuador is a landlocked country or not? Ecuador is not a landlocked country. It lies in the western part, okay, western part of South America, and it is opening up in the Pacific Ocean, South Pacific Ocean, basically. Clear? Okay. ECOSOC, okay, United Nations Economic and Social Council, one of the six principal organs of United Nations, has elected experts from its 16 subsidiary bodies, both by secret ballot and acclamation during 2016 session. Okay, so United Nations Economic and Social Council, okay, um, uh, has one of the six organs rather of the United Nations, has elected 16 subsidiary bodies. Uh, India gets elected to four. Okay, so just remember how many. This is not much of a big thing. Current president is still not required. If you feel like, you can just remember it. It is Colin Vixen Kilpile. Okay, Kilpile. Neptune, Ukraine's homemade anti-ship cruise missile. Okay, Neptune, Ukraine's homemade anti-ship cruise missile. Okay, is capable of destroying targets within a range of 300 kilometers. The Neptune missile system was introduced in Ukraine's defense forces in March. Neptune is based on Soviet era, so Neptune is a Ukraine-based anti-ship cruise missile. Next, India provides second 500 million fuel aid to Sri Lanka. It's in a disaster, you know that already. It's in a financial crisis. Navy chief unveils joint navigation chart in the Maldives. Okay. In his first overseas visit since assuming the office, the chief of the naval staff is R. Hari Kumar. Okay. So R. Hari Kumar is the chief of the naval staff. He has launched his several high bilateral meetings during the 3-day visit to Maldives. Okay. Uh, National Defense Forces. Okay. INS Satluj is presently deploying it, not required. What is unveiled the first navigation chart co-powered by India, okay, and the Maldives, and handed over the hydrography equipment to MNDP to help the consolidate their capabilities. Next, Russia withdraws from United Nations World Tourism Organization amid Ukraine war. Okay, so they have taken out. So that's not a big. Its headquarter is something that you can remember. That is in Madrid, Spain. Okay, okay. Let's go to the next part. Okay. Else than this, we have covered the schemes and other parts. Two things done. And let's take the upper hand and see what we have already done. We have done the government schemes and international affairs. Um, let's take a break. Okay, it's been